Namaskar and welcome to the next part of our video lecture series in strategic management. I am Purnendu Kumar Patra, and in today's class we are going to discuss a very popular model proposed by Michael Porter, known as the 5 forces model. As the name indicates, there are 5 factors which evaluate the external environment and determine for a company whether a certain geography, a given geography or the target geography is attractive, should be entered or should be invested in or should be stayed away from. So, these factors begin with the first factor being threat of new entrants. Threat of new entrants means basically the number of entrants that are preparing to come into a market that wish to take a share of a certain market. Now, when a market becomes very attractive, as in it could be that the cost of production is very less in a certain market, the human resource is pretty cheap in a certain market, the logistics or the infrastructure is very favorable for the business, and such other factors. If all these factors come together, they make a really attractive market. And when market is very attractive, all sorts of companies, they wish to have a share of that. So, in such scenarios, the number of entrants entering a market will be large, and these are first time entrants to this particular domain. So, as you know, first time entrants, they might not focus, may or may not focus on a very large market share, but they might definitely focus on lowering prices. And this is not a rule as per se, but as a general rule of thumb, we have observed that new entrants often hit pricing in a negative way. So, this could be a threat to incumbents who are playing at a higher price level, who have a dedicated consumer base which is very sensitive towards price, and they have somehow managed their consumer basis. So, in that case, it will be a threat to incumbents. Similarly, threat of substitutes. Threat of substitutes becomes relevant if your products or your product is replaceable with a very close substitute. Let us say a four-wheeler, a personal vehicle, a car. Cars are required if public transport system is not very robust in a certain geography. The reason could be anything, but given the fact that there is no public transport system available in a certain geography due to any reason, the four-wheeler market or the personal vehicle market, the personal four-wheeler market is going to be very attractive, because the threat of substitutes is pretty low. So, we see there are some cities in this country as well as the world where the public transport system is not very robust for some reason. Reasons which could be deliberate, reasons which could be very natural. So, for some reason, the public transport system in such cities is not very robust, not very convenient for people to travel from A to B. So, in those cases, people with decent incomes, they are going to invest almost certainly in four-wheelers. It is no more a status item, it will be a need, it will be a basic need. To get from A to B, you need something, and since public transport is not there, you will have to purchase a personal vehicle. In that case, the threat of substitutes is pretty low. However, in case the government decides, someday the government wishes to change this and wishes to start or begins all sorts of transport commutation systems, public transportation systems, then of course the pressure is going to be shifting from the government back to the companies, where they manufacture automobiles for mid-income or high-income consumers, and suddenly these consumers who did not have a choice earlier now have a clear substitute in the public transport system. In that case, substitutes are available and you will face problems. The bargaining power of buyers. Well, both of these bargaining powers, on the far side you will see bargaining power of suppliers and here bargaining power of buyers. Both these bargaining powers, for a business to prosper, both these bargaining powers must be balanced. Neither of them should be very high, and for a decent competition to exist, neither of them should be very low as well. A high bargaining power for supplier will mean that the company is left with low profit margins, low operating margins, which will drive the company into losses if it further increases. Similarly, the bargaining power of buyers will make sales very difficult. If buyers have the edge in negotiations, in sales negotiations, if buyers have the edge over the seller or over the company, then the company will be forced again to operate at very less profit margins or sales margins. So, in such cases too, the business is not viable over a long period of time. So, neither of them should be very high. And why do I say that neither of them should be very low as well? Because if the bargaining power of suppliers as well as buyers is low, this will result in a substantial profit margin, operating margin for the company, and which in turn will draw entrants. Probably other players who are in this business, competitors who are in this business, they are not in this geography, but now that they have realized that in this market the bargaining power of buyers and suppliers are low, they will come to know about it and they will definitely rush towards this market to grab a share, and that is when you or the business will feel pressure. In that case, due to the arrival of new entrants, the competitive rivalry will also increase. So, that is why in the beginning I have mentioned that the bargaining power of both suppliers as well as buyers needs to be at a balance. It should not be very high or very low. So, that is about the 5 forces model of Michael Porter. I hope you have understood it properly. Thank you for watching the video.